equations. And the other paper that goes with that, it says check whether 3 is a solution. That's the second paper that goes with it. And then the third paper is the actual homework. So these are the 3 papers that you want to have out. Is the notes 1.4 in the second page, and then the 1.4 practice. So the only part that we're using from this is going to be verbal sentence. Cut this out. The rest of it you're throwing away. And then the second page cut in half. Those are the only 2 that we're using today. So this is 1.4. Right? And equation. And it's right here on this paper right here too. If you're looking for it, I'm just copying the heading. 1.4, write an equation and inequalities. That's what you're writing at the top of your page. All right, we'll start with this first. Taping this in. So I'm just going to tape this one in. Doesn't matter which one goes first. We want to know this is 1.4 because this is where the test is going to. 1.1 through 1.4 tests next week. Closing it out before Christmas break. Looking at Google Classroom, last week was right here, 12.7 through 12.11. I told you it will always be at the top of the page, just like this week is already up there at the top of the page. You have a quiz, a 10-question quiz to take. If you just clicked on this, you could do it on a piece of paper and then upload it or use Cami. You guys know what to do. That was homework 205. Homework 206 and 207 was Khan Academy. That was what was assigned for 1 week of being completely remote. Okay, 3 assignments. This week is just going to be homework 208 so that you can get caught up on last week's work. And then we're having a test next class. All right, here we go. So I told you that I was going to treat you the same as college prep, the same as honors. That means I don't let you slack. I put the zeros in. That doesn't mean I don't give assignments. It's not like last year. Last year we were thrown into COVID world and you could pass a class with doing one thing for the whole entire time. Not this time. This time you have to do your work. So please make sure you're faithful. You're hard workers when you're here. Be hard workers when you're not here. Okay? All right, it's up to you. Freshmen, sophomores, it's up to you what you want your life to be. We have verbal sentences. So today we're talking about equations and inequalities. Back at 1.3, we were writing expressions. Expressions look like this right here. These are expressions. Do they have any equal signs? No, they're just expressions. Now we're going to be doing expressions, equations. They have to have equal signs or they have to have inequality signs. Okay, here we go. The difference. Maybe you want to have your hand tucked in at 1.3 so you can look back to see what does difference mean. If you don't know what difference means, have that page ready to go. The difference. What's that mean? Difference. The difference of twice the number k and 8. What difference means? Subtract. So we know we're subtracting. What are we subtracting? We're subtracting twice a number k and 8. You need to be able to hear those phrases. Subtracting 2 things, blank and blank. Blank and blank. So we're going to write it now. The difference. How do I write twice a number k? Almost. That would be k times k. So twice the number k. All right, so 2k. The difference of 2k and 8. There's the difference of 2k and 8. It says is. What's is, Miko? I can't even talk this morning.
I just put an equal sign in my...
I put Miko. What's is mean? The difference of twice the number k and 8 is 12. So is always means equal. That's why I drew an arrow to it. Is always means equal. So is 12. There's an equation. It has an equal sign. It's an equation. The next one says the product. Well, what's product mean? Yeah, so we need to multiply. The product of 6, that's the first thing. I like to underline and twice so I can see what the second thing's going to be. 6 and a number n. That's the first part. The product of 6 and a number n. How do I multiply 6 and n? We said product means multiply. So how do I multiply 6 and n? 6 times n. You could put 6n. You could put 6 times n. 6n really is the preferred way, but you could put 6 times n. It means the same thing. Is at least 24. Does that sound like an equal sign? No, it's not an equal sign. So that means we're talking about an inequality sign then. If I told you that I have at least $24 in my pocket, how much money could I have? If I have at least $24, how much money do I have? What's that mean though?
$24 or more.
$24 or more? I have at least $24. So you're right. So I could have $24 or I could have more. So that would be greater than or equal to 24.
Oh, so that's what that sign is.
Yes, greater than or equal to means 6 times n is greater than or equal to 24. So I could have $24 or I could have more than $24. I just said I have at least $24. Okay, here we go with the next one. A number y is no less than 5 and no more than 13. So we're talking about y. What are the possibilities of what y could be? It says it's no less than 5 and no more than 13. So where is it? No less than 5. Huh? Okay. It says that y is no less than 5. So what could it possibly be? No less than 5. It could be what then? So y could be 5 or greater because it says it's no less than 5. So we know we're greater than 5. And it also says no more than 13. What's that one mean? No more than 13. Means it has to be less than 13. So you're greater than 5, but you're less than 13. So that means that y would go in the middle. You would say that y is greater than or equal to 5. I'm reading from the variable. The open part is next to y. Remember, the alligator always eats the greater one. So the open part is next to y. It says y is greater than 5. We also need to show that it's less than 13. So we go like this. Y is also less than or equal to 13. Y is between 5 and 13. Now I'm reading from the variable. It says y is less than. Look at the closed part is next to y. So now it says y is less than 13. But if I read over to the 5, if I read in that direction, it says that y is greater than 5 and y is less than 13. Always looking for the opening or the closed part. Which one is next to the variable? Notice that the signs are going in the same direction. They have to be all the time. If your signs are not facing the right way, one of them is wrong. They always have to be facing the same direction. All right, here's the last part of what 1.4 is about. So writing equations and inequalities, and then we're checking whether something is a solution. On the homework, in the notes, it says check whether 3 is a solution. So we're going to use the number 3 in all these problems. But that's not true in the homework. If you look at the homework right here, it says check whether the given number is a solution. They put the number at the end of it. They put a semicolon, and then they put the number. Semicolon 4, I'm checking 4 on this one. Semicolon 9, I'm checking 9 on this one. So they're not all going to be the number 3. They're just like that in our notes. So we need to check whether 3 is a solution. What does that mean I'm going to do then? I have this equation, and I need to check whether 3 is a solution. This is what Khan Academy was about. So if you watched Khan Academy and you did the homework, you kind of have an idea of what we're doing right now. That's why I gave it to you, so that you would be prepared coming into class. What do you think it means that we're going to do? It says check whether 3 is a solution. How do I check 3? I'm going to substitute in 3. It would be like evaluating expressions that we've done. But now we're actually checking solutions. So I say 8 minus 2. I'm putting a parenthesis for the x. Here's the x. It says 2 times x. So now I have 2 times a parenthesis. I put a parenthesis for wherever I'm going to substitute in something. And now I'm substituting in 3. So I take 3 and I substitute it in. Now I need to see if it's really a solution for this equation. Where do I start to simplify? Where am I going to start to simplify? What do you got, Boston? Okay, so I look in the parentheses. I think you're thinking of rules, aren't you? What rules were you thinking of as we were doing this? Yeah, great job. So we are using PEMDAS to keep track of order. So he says, I'm going to start with parentheses. Is there anything in the parentheses to do? No. So that was good that you started there, but there's nothing in there to do. It's just a number. Are there any exponents? Is there any multiplying or dividing? What are we multiplying? Exactly what are we multiplying? Almost. Exactly. No. You said 2 times 3. You're half right. What did he miss? Isn't it negative 2 times 3? Right? You got to keep your signs in front of your terms. So I'm going to bring the 8 down. Brought the 8 down. And now it says negative 2 times 3. Negative 6, right? Okay, keep simplifying. 8 minus 6 is this a true or false statement? What's the statement say? It says 2 equals 2. Is that true? Okay, so that's true. So we're going to give our answer now. You say, therefore, this is from geometry. It's like when you're going to make a big statement at the end of a proof. Therefore, 3 is a solution. This is what I need to see. I need to see your evidence. I need to see what you simplified down to, and then I need your final statement. 3 is a solution. That's how you check. So we have 4 times my x minus 5 equals 6. I'm substituting in x is 3 again because it says to use 3 for all of them. Then we start to simplify. What are we going to simplify first? Do we simplify multiplying or subtraction first, Tegan? We start with multiplying first. So 4 times 3 is 12. And 12 minus 5 is?
7.
It's 7. Is this a true statement? Does 7 equal 6? So we go like this. 7 does not equal 6. That means that, what's our final statement then? Therefore what? 3 is not a solution. I didn't get a true statement. That means 3 is not a solution. 3 is not a solution. Okay, those are equations. What's it going to look like when we check inequalities now? So we're going to put a parenthesis for where z is. 2 times z plus 5, is that greater than 12? I'm going to substitute in 3. Then I start with my multiplying first. 2 times 3. Multiplying before adding, so we get 6 plus 5. Is that greater than 12? What's this statement right here say? It says 2 different things. Tell me one thing it says. What do you think, Boston? So remember that the open mouth always faces towards the greater. It says greater. So 11 is greater than 12. Is 11 greater than 12? No, but it also says one more thing. What happens if I read from the 12? I went from 11 to 12 when I read. What happens if I start at 12 and go the other way? What does it say going the other way? Well, what's next to the 12? Is it the open part or the closed part next to 12? It is. So 12 is not greater. 12 is less than 11. Is 12 less than 11? No, it was false no matter how you read it. But the point here is I wanted you to see that you could read it in both directions. That's false. Therefore, 3 is not a solution. One more, and then you can start your homework. We have 5 plus 3 times n, substituting in 3. And we simplify the multiplying first. 3 times 3 is 9. What does this statement say, Bobby? So when I'm reading this, look at, I'm starting at 14. What's next to the 14? Is it open or closed next to the 14? So that means when I say 14 is less than or equal to 20. But if I read it the other way, if I start at 20, what's next to the 20? Is it the open part or the closed part? What's right? Right? It's the open part. So it says 20 is greater than or equal to 14. Which one is it? Is 20? It's greater than. Can it be greater than and equal at the same time? No, it's going to be one or the other. You can't be greater than and equal at the same instant, right? This is a true statement. Therefore, 3 is a solution. All right, let's look at your homework. 1.4, I'm going to tell you the ones that I want you to circle. 1.4 worksheet. You're going to circle 1 through 5. You're going to circle 6, 7, 8, 11. And then you're going to circle 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. The only ones that you have to show your work is here. Show work. 6 through 11. Show work on 6 through 11.